Hey, how's it going, guys? Garcia here with your daily portfolio update. So as you can tell, it looks like a bloody day today. We are down to $286,901.76. So we were in the 300s yesterday, and we are down today. We're down quite heavily. So let's check it out. We're down 12% today in the IRA. Holy shit. We're down $7,500. We're up 76% in the past 3 months. Year to date, 120%, and all time as well, going back to December 22nd of last year. Now, let's see what happened. This is the equity. And currently, the equity on these covered calls is not accurate. It closed, I believe, at 15 cents or something. Yeah, I'm not sure. The calls were kind of like we're kind of out of whack. I received 30 cents for these new round of covered calls. So with Rocket Lab, let me show you. So I bought to close those $30 covered calls that were expiring this Friday, so in 2 days. Where was it? Current buy. Huh. How come it doesn't show the $30 call? I guess it's here. I guess they filled today. Interesting. I guess it was when I submitted the order. But here you go. So they got submitted and they filled at 5 cents each. So a total of $50 to close. And I immediately opened new covered calls expiring next week at $29. At a $29 strike. And I received 30 cents per contract, or $30. So in total, I received around $300 for these new round of covered calls. These are pretty conservative. I don't expect Rocket Lab to be above $25, $26 anytime soon. So I do expect these to, I do expect to buy these at $5, in a couple of days. I'm just going to rinse and repeat very conservative covered calls on Rocket Lab, and it's only on a limited amount of the shares. Just in case Rocket Lab does decide to continue rocketing up, I can roll the position. Let's say the option is worth 20 cents. It's not worth 1 penny as it is now. I can roll up to as high as $40 and still keep control of the shares. So that's my plan. I'm going to take less money every week, but I do guarantee that I'll keep control of the shares no matter what happens to the stock price. Okay, so anyway, let's see what happened today. Percent change. God damn, look at that. So, negative 10% on Rocket Lab today. Insane. AMDL down 5%. NVDL flat. PTIR, the leveraged Palantir, was down 4%. So here is the total percent change so far. So not too bad. I mean, on the single biggest holding, we're still at 42%. So not too bad. Okay. The big account was down 8.9% today, but we are bouncing back after hours. We're up 70% in the past 3 months, 258% year to date, 225% in the past year, and 177% all time. Oh, and one more thing too, is it kind of sucks. The all-time performance of these portfolios, they kind of got diluted because it took the $12,000 that I rolled over from the traditional IRA, and it added this almost as a deposit. So it's not counting from $3,800 when I started it. It's kind of counting it as if I just deposited 12 grand into the account. So this account technically started with 3,800 plus 1,200. So we're talking about like 15 grand maybe at the most. So these total returns looked a lot better than 120%. So just kind of sucks to lose that, nice percentage. Anyway, buying power, 88 grand. So we still have a lot of liquidity. So thankfully, even with this big dip today, these $23 puts on Rocket Lab are still doing pretty well. I'm actually break even right now. Look at the total return, 0%. It's actually, I did not expect it to be that flat. Yeah, we're basically freaking break even right now. Rocket Lab would have to be below my break even here, which is $20.45, before I consider rolling down and out. I would roll down and out and add more contracts to keep the roll as close to the vest as possible, and use up some of that liquidity up here, the buying power, to stay close to the vest. Let's see. The Palantir covered calls, they returned $576 today. The shares were down 3,600. Excuse me. Clean Spark were down $200, Innovix down 100, AMD were up 24, and the total return, here we go. So we're up 130 grand on Palantir and 19,000 on Rocket Lab. We bought the dip on Rocket Lab actually in the Roth IRA. Notice the buying power is only $7. I can't buy any less than that, but I did buy, I believe, 100 shares. No, 10 shares. I bought 10 shares at $24. What I added more of was AMDL. I saw AMDL get to $8, and I said, you know what? It's now or never. So I decided to buy 100 shares at $8 and another 24 shares at $7.64. So AMD is going to be, one of my AMD, Rocket Lab are the two single biggest companies that I'm looking to continue adding at these prices. Oh, and someone in the comments asked about looking at the realized profit and loss. So here it is. So you can go ahead and click on this and it'll tell you year to date what the profit and loss is. So my realized gains is about 13,500. So the reason it's not much more is because of these heavy days here. Look at this. See, negative 13 grand, negative almost 20 grand. This was basically rolling Palantir covered calls that were going heavily against me at this time to keep control of those shares. I did not want to let those shares go, at 30, 40, 45, $50. Hindsight, maybe it was best to let them go, sooner rather than later, but I am just going to try to control as many shares as I can. So yeah, so there's the year-to-date realized profit and loss. Okay, let's take a look at what's going on Twitter. So yesterday, Palantir extended its partnership with the Army for another few years. So the Army likes what Palantir is selling. They like the technology, and hey, another extension. When the wifey wants to cuddle, but you're catching up on the latest Palantir tech partnership. That was cute. That Antonio guy giving his Palantir price targets.
$1 billion. Over $1,300,000,000,300,000,000,000 Over $1,300,000,000,000,300,000,000,000.
This guy is like, Palantir is a 100x from here. My Palantir, this is the next $10 trillion business without a time frame. The guy is not telling you when he thinks this is going to happen. Oh, this was cool. So earlier today, Palantir released this interview that Chad held with Matt Thomas, who is, I believe it's a deployment strategist, if I'm not mistaken. Kind of holding at the beginning. Deployment strategist. And Chad is a product architect. So it was pretty cool. Oh, I added it here. But it was cool. I really enjoyed the interview. I hope they release the full interview, and I hope Chad interviews other Palantirians, because I love hearing their point of view. It gives me like a snippet of what I was able to hear, and conversations that I was able to have with myself with other Palantirians, and feeling that passion for the company. Honestly, it just makes me feel even more bullish. It gives me more conviction to continue holding, knowing that every Palantirian has the same goal in mind. They don't all think exactly the same, but they all have the same common goal, which is what you want in an organization. So I thought it was great. I hope Chad releases more. I hope he does more interviews. Oh, so for those who don't know, my laser eyes are not for Bitcoin. They're to attack bears and shills. If you guys didn't already know so. So if you guys didn't know, the markets were down today. Over leveraged bros right now. Fucking hell, man. I'm finished. They're so cooked, man. They're short-term calls and stuff that they were YOLOing on. Learned a tough lesson today. So I took advantage, running against the crowd. And I bought Rocket Lab as it was dipping down to 24. And bought AMDL as it was at 8. I don't know exactly when the bottom is. I have money and I buy. Happy hump day, everyone.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh.
Well, this was cool. So Sean Ryan released a new interview with Palantir co-founder Joe Lonsdale. So it was awesome to see him, explain what Palantir does. And he gives like a very quick, summarization, almost like a very kind of like an elevator pitch on what is Palantir.
But what
I think you guys should all listen to it.
What is Palantir? So, I mean, at a very high level, Palantir is an effort to take like the very top technology culture in Silicon Valley and apply it to solve the most important problems. In these institutions that didn't have tech cultures, so in the intelligence and defense world. But what is it actually doing? So there was really initially 4 pillars of Palantir. It was data integration, search discovery, analysis, knowledge management, and collaboration. And each of those is like a really big hard product. What is Palantir?
I think it's cool to get like a very like in a kernel, like a shrunk down to like its essence. What is Palantir? There it is. An effort to take the very top technology culture in Silicon Valley and apply it to solve the most important problems. So I love it. All right, guys, it looks like that's it for today. I appreciate you guys for watching. Thank you all who comment, leave me comments on Twitter and here as well, who support the channel. Thank you all for watching. Hit the like button if you haven't done so yet. And I hope you guys have a great day. I'll see you guys tomorrow.